part one of, got it, part one of Breakthrough 22. So let's just see everybody that's around the table. For those of you that haven't, give a big wave out there. We have so many people joining us via Zoom right now, and this will be rebroadcast on the YouTube channel on Synergy for the playback. However, everything starts right here. So honestly, guys, you may be asking yourself, why are we sitting around a table with arts and crafts looking at like a kindergarten classroom just threw up on steroids, right? Because the funny thing about the mind is the mind sees in pictures, and the pictures that you the pictures you feed your mind with are 100% exactly what you're going to manifest, right? So you can evaluate where you're at in life right now very easily. What am I telling myself? Where am I at? What am I thinking about? Evaluate your life and be honest, right? This is no time for deceit. Are you really living the life you want? Are you living the life you're capable of? Or have you self-imposed boundaries on you? We were built for abundance. We were built to achieve anything and everything we wanted, and it's all within us to be able to do that, right? So I highly believe in vision boarding. Vision boarding has been revered by some of the most successful people for eons and eons and eons. And there's something about looking at a board you created that's a reminder to you of what you said you wanted, what you said you would settle no less for. Look at it every day. This is something that's going to carry you through 2022. And then I hope you do another one and you set new goals and you set new benchmarks. And so don't just take it from me. I want to read you, one of my favorite people is Jack Canfield. I don't know if any of you follow any of his work, but I love him to death. So let me tell you what he says about vision boarding before we move on. Also known as dream boards, these simple devices are one of the most valuable visualization tools available to you. These inspirational collages serve as your image of the future, a tangible example, idea, or representation of where you're going. They should represent your dreams, your goals, your ideal life. Your brain will work tirelessly to achieve the statements you give your subconscious mind. I'm going to repeat that. Your brain will work tirelessly to give you what you feed it. So what are you feeding it? Are you feeding it negativity? Are you feeding it COVID? Are you feeding it inflation? Are you feeding it shortage of housing inventory? What are you feeding your mind? Okay. Because your brain will work tirelessly to achieve the statements you give your subconscious mind. And when those statements are the affirmations and images of your goals, you are destined to achieve them. So flip the switch, okay? We're gonna look at what we deserve, what we dream, and what we desire. So simply put, to think is to create. And we're gonna dive into that concept a little bit more. But before we do that, listen, we're very complex beings, right? Human beings are very complex and life happens. I can have the best of intentions. I could wake up and I could put my feet on the floor and I'm gonna go kill the world. And I get out to the truck and it's got a flat tire. Bam. You know, there goes my great intentions. You know, the dog runs out the door and now I got a flat tire and I'm chasing the dog around the entire subdivision. Life happens, let's be honest. But it's continually reframing the thoughts, and don't be victim to life, right? Be victim to, or be a victor versus a victim. It's not always easy. And sometimes we have to get creative, right? It's sometimes easier to see the obstacles in front of us than the opportunity. So if we're constantly focusing on opportunity versus focusing on the obstacles, life could look a little different. And I have a little game that we're going to play just to test our creativity, just to see where we're at on a level of how much we think outside the box, okay? So for those of you in the room, you are getting a piece of paper. I'm going to take you with me. Let's go for a walk. We have a newcomer.
Hi, I do apologize.
That's okay. Introduce yourself.
My name is Beatrice.
Beatrice is wearing a super cool Guns N' Roses t-shirt.
Okay, I just didn't want to interrupt.
No, go get a seat. We're going to play a game.
Perfect.
So you're in the hot seat now, so you're going to be timed. Everybody else gets 2 minutes, you get 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. She says, okay, I like her.
Negotiate a little bit.
We're playing a little game. This is called the 9 dots. How many of you smart rats have ever played this game, the 9 dots? All right. So don't give the answer away.
I don't think
In
I remember
fact, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you up it. Is anyone out there in Zoom ever played the 9 dots? Raise your hand. It doesn't look like it. So what I need you to do out there in Zoom land is I need you to take a piece of paper and I need you to draw 9 dots on it, just like this. Okay. So you're just simply going to take a plain sheet of paper. I don't care. Use a sticky notepad if you have to, and draw 9 dots on it. Perfectly symmetrical. 3 rows of 3, 3 up, 3 down, exactly like this. If you came to the room, we've got it for you. Huh?
I know the answer.
You get to do it in 3.
Oh, wow.
So while everybody's getting settled, I'm going to go over the instructions for the game. Everybody have one? Good to go? Awesome. All right, so here's the rules. What you need to do is you need to take a writing utensil. You need to put it on the paper and you need to go through every single one of the circles that you just drew, connect all 9 dots using 4 lines. Every line must connect with the other line, and you cannot bring your pencil or your writing utensil off the paper. So I'm going to repeat that in a different way. Use a pencil or a writing utensil to draw 4 continuous straight line segments which go through the middle of all 9 dots without taking your pencil off the paper. I promise you it can be done. In fact, if you've done it in 4, you're now tasked to do it in 3, and it's very possible. So I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to complete the puzzle. On your mark, get set, go. How are we doing? Any smart rats out there? If you break the puzzle, do not share it. Let your neighbor figure it out.
4 lines, that's it. Yeah.
4 lines.
Well, just
They must be
try it again.
straight lines.
Again, yeah, just draw on top of it.
They must be straight lines. They must all be connected. Do not lift your pen off the paper. We got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Anybody in the room solve the puzzle who hasn't seen the puzzle before? So just so you know, if you've seen the puzzle before, please raise your hand. Okay. If you haven't seen the puzzle before, raise your hand. Keep your hands raised. If you figured out the puzzle, keep your hand raised. Okay. We got nothing. Did anybody out there in Zoom land solve the puzzle? By show of hands.
No, it was very hard.
It's a nata capata. So who here knows the answer, would be willing to go to the board and show how it's done?
I think I remembered the answer.
You did it.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a brave volunteer, Kim Maddie, is going to show us exactly how it's done. Kim, let me know if you can see yourself in there.
I can see myself. Okay. All right. So I did this back in size seminars basic 2+ years ago.
Yeah.
And I've seen the game. I wasn't sure I remembered the game, but the one clue that triggered my memory is to think outside the box. So this is how I did it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bam. Did you guys see that? So let me show it to you again, close up. So this is the answer to the puzzle. Can everybody see it clearly? So what happened? What happened, guys? Why weren't we able to solve that puzzle? Let's hear from somebody in the room. What happened and why weren't we able to solve that puzzle? John, I know you want the answer.
Didn't think outside the box.
What box?
The box in our mind.
So John said we didn't think outside the box, and I want to know what box.
The one in my mind.
Yeah. So it
Okay,
Here's
I know
the-
that wasn't the answer you were looking
is
for.
totally the answer. He always gets nervous when he's put on the spot.
I really am.
He does. Here's the answer. Guys, did I give you a box?
No.
Did I did
Right.
not give you a box. I gave you 9 dots. And I
But they
asked
make
you
a
to simply
box.
connect them. But what did your mind see?
A box.
Your mind saw a box and your mind saw obstacles and your mind said, I can't go past here. There's danger past here. I'm not allowed past here. That's against the rules. Nobody will like me. Oh my God, what'll they think of me? I'm gonna color outside the lines. There was no box. So too often in life, we're giving ourselves self-imposed boxes. I know it's very cliche and you've heard it a million times in your life, think outside the box. However, if you've heard it a million times, why did we fail the puzzle? So there's a difference between knowing something here and knowing something here. Super good friend of mine told me once, the longest journey you will ever take in life is the 18 inches between your head and your heart. Okay, because to know something on the surface level, you know of it, you know about it. Until you're in alignment with it, until you believe it to your core, you don't know it, right? The magic comes when knowing comes believing, then you have a chemical reaction and a shift in your body, and it now becomes part of who you are and part of your thought process. That's the reason why self-help books are great. I love them. I read, I listen to podcasts and all that great stuff, really, but how do we learn as human beings? Through experience. You know, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. What are they gonna do?
Touch the stove.
They're gonna touch the stove and then they go, oh my God, it's hot. Like we never told them 100 times, but we did, but they didn't know it until they experienced it, right? So what is it gonna take for us to experience the fact that we live in self-imposed boundaries, okay? And with that being said, Cody and I had this amazing conversation yesterday, and he's got the coolest family. I mean, all of Lewis kids are like so cool. And he was telling me about this concept that his parents raised them on. And I thought it was so brilliant. And I was really hoping that you would share it with us today, Cody.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you. So the concept that Pam was alluding to is, and this is something that was like just drilled into my head from the time I was a little kid. So I literally couldn't escape it. I was brainwashed from a young age on this. And that is that one of the biggest ailments that plagues the human race is self-deceit. And so in the context of what we're talking about today, one of the areas where we deceive ourselves in the things we say to ourselves on a constant basis is that there's limitations and that there's scarcity in the world. So what I was telling Pam last night, you guys can see over my shoulder here, still in the bubble wrap right here is my 2 diplomas for my 2 degrees. This one right here is an economics degree. Economics is the study, hold on, I got to mute somebody.
He's got this wazoo microphone.
Economics is the study of the allocation of scarce resources. That is the definition of economics. The study of the allocation of scarce resources. Basically, how are we going to allocate these things that are very scarce among all of us as people? Well, there came a day when I realized that that is a total lie. This earth is in existence to serve the human race. The human race is not here to serve the earth. This earth, it has everything we could ever want from it in complete abundance. And when I realized that, it changed everything for me. This is not the message we're hearing from society. Society is saying there are X number of transactions in the market, and there are 18,000 agents all fighting for those X number of transactions. That's what we hear in society. Does anybody remember when society's message was that there was a shortage of oil, and so we were going to have all the speed limits be 55 miles an hour? I know Daniel doesn't remember because homeboy hasn't been born yet.
Right.
But there was a time when that was the scientific best minds of the day said that there was a huge shortage, and we were driving way less than our cars would and way less than we knew was safe to drive because of this concept of scarcity. If you guys will, and I know Pam is going to nail it, and we're also going to be hearing in other sessions from Tamara, she's going to also nail it. If we, all of us collectively, can open our minds truly to the concept that there is no limit to the success that we can have, then what we will accomplish will, by definition, automatically be way higher than it would have otherwise been. There is so much to go around. How many transactions happen in Las Vegas every year? How many of those do you need to make you happy in your life? Figure out what percentage that is, and you'll see that it's barely even scraping the surface of all the business that happens. So all you need to do is make sure you get the part of it that you set out to get. And it's entirely possible if you'll remove the hurdles in your mind to do it. There you go, Pam. It's up to you now.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And with that being said, I'm just going to interject a little self-promotion here right now. I need you guys all to, piggybacking on what Cody just said, I need you to give that guy at the end of the table that looks like he's going to fall asleep some good love and some good mojo today, because this kid, EXP Commercial, is going after a $20 million listing today, and he's one of 2 agents. And so he's the kid to get it. And we want that on Synergy's credentials, right?
Yeah.
We want to sell a piece of Las Vegas Boulevard. So let's all see collectively believe in this kid slaying that listing.
Yes.
It's possible. It's out there, right? So with that being said, we are going to, I want to reiterate one more thing, guys. I just want to reiterate there's this concept, and I've said it several times already, and I'm going to say it again because that's how important it is. To think is to create. I've said it, Cody said it, you've heard it a million times before, but what does it mean to you? So if I say to think is to create, thoughts are things, what does it mean to you? Somebody, anybody, give me an example. They're dead silent.
Say it one more time.
To think is to create. Thoughts are things. It's the images you put in your mind.
Get up in the morning and say, today I'm getting a listing. Today I'm getting a new client. Today I'm getting a referral. Today I'm getting more leads.
Yeah, 100%. So it could be as simple as affirmations, right? What are your affirmations? What are you telling yourself? Are you telling yourself that you're going to win the listing? Are you telling yourself you're going to get a listing? Are you telling yourself that you're great? Does anybody remember that video of that little girl? I mean, this thing is like 20 years old now. She's probably 40 right now. Maybe she's going on Social Security. I don't know. But she was this little blonde curly haired girl that stood up on her mom's sink in the bathroom, and she was screaming her affirmations in the mirror. I'm beautiful. I'm wonderful. I rock. And she did this for like an hour straight. Okay. You know what the great thing about this little girl is? I traced her probably about 5 years ago. I was like, I want to know what her life is like.
Yeah.
I want to know what this little girl did. She's crushing it. Like top of her class in college, smart, beautiful, elegant, relational. I mean, you just look at her and you're like, wow, I want to emulate that. How do I get that? Right? Because she tells herself affirmations that are positive affirmations, right? So we're just going to talk about this concept one more time. To think is to create. So what do you want to manifest? So right now you get the opportunity to actually like play, to tear out pictures in magazines, to write words all over a board. that you're going to have the opportunity to look at all year long. And think of this board as organic. If something changes during the year, up the game, like keep going, right? This board doesn't have to be like perfect and pristine. In fact, I'm only giving you half an hour to actually finish the board. And then we're going to come back and we're going to kind of share. But what you're going to do is you are going to think about how you want your life to look. How are your relationships right now? You know, if you want a better relationship with your wife or your husband, or if you simply want a relationship, what does it look like? There might be a picture in a magazine, one of these magazines, if you're in the room, that could inspire you to think about that relationship. If you haven't taken a vacation in 2 years, you might want to go on a vacation. Put a picture of some wild, incredible place on this board that you can look at every day that is going to inspire you and manifest you on that vacation. You know what? Are you driving some ratty old car and you're just afraid of buying a new car because you hear all the nonsense in the narrative about there's a shortage of cars? There is no shortage of cars. Just look around. I'm looking at 215 right now. You know how many cars are blazing up and down that road? Find your car, put it on your board. In fact, I'm driving my vision board Jeep Rubicon jacked up on big old tires that I will never, ever take off-roading. In fact, my husband.
You and everybody else.
My husband calls it my malt crawler. Yeah, but I could if I wanted to. But guess what? It was a
It's an
vision.
urban assault vehicle.
Yes. Well, listen,
Nobody
it was.
takes those things off road. Nobody does.
I
They're
know,
all just
right?
so much bling bling, baby.
I don't want to get my detailer gets very upset at me. This
Can I
is your chance
interject
to
one
dream
thing?
big. Yes.
Can I interject one thing? Because I've had a really rough last 2 years in my personal life and my wife, and it's been really hard to stay positive. And I tell you, there's something so stupid that works for me. And sometimes you have to fake it till you make it, but it's smiling. It's really hard to be sour when you got a smile on your face. Like it's almost impossible. And sometimes when I'm going down that dark road, I just smile and I just stop my brain. I just say, stop it. And I smile, and I can't be sad when I'm smiling. It's impossible. It's silly, but it works most
That's
of the
great.
time.
Who is that? That's great.
You're getting a clap from Kim, and we all love that. And it's so true. You're right. You know, there's another concept, be, do, have, right? If you be it and you do it, you're going to have it. And that starts with smiling.
Right.
I want to be happier. Well, I need to be happy. So I'm going to smile, right? So back to these boards, please don't look for perfection. Rip, tear, glue. You've got all kinds of magazines here. You've got all kinds of bling back here. You're going to pick out your board from over here. There are so many different boards to pick out from. You pick your flavor and your taste and build the life you want to live on this board. And when we're doing that, I'm going to urge you, here's where I've made mistakes in the past. Like when I was 35 pounds heavier, I wanted to be a size 2. So my vision boarding was all about being a size 2, whether that's good, bad, right, or wrong, whatever. I just knew that I didn't feel good and I just wanted to lose some weight. That whole vision board was centered around health. And what I neglected to look at for an entire year was my bank account, my relationships with other people besides myself, because for that year, I was the only one that walked the planet, apparently. Or my emotional, my spiritual, right? So it's great to have goals, but I'm going to encourage you to think about the whole entire complexity of your life, right? So what is that? That's the physical. What do I feel like when I wake up in the morning? When my feet hit the floor, am I already tired? So I have to take 14 pills just to survive every day. So think about your physical. What do you want that to look like? Think about your mental, your emotional, right? Emotional is nothing except for basically how you're interacting with people and how you're synthesizing with other people and how you feel, right? So what is your reaction to people? So if you walk up to somebody and your reaction is whatever it is, and that causes an emotional reaction within you, is it a healthy one? Is it a happy one? I almost consider emotional. Do you feel good in your own skin? When you go to bed at night, are you wrought with fear and concern and angst? Or are you at peace with yourself and the work that you've done today and how you've contributed to the world? Also think about your bank account. Come on, guys. The wealthier I am, the wealthier everybody around me is, because I'm just this is me. If I got it, you got it, right? I want to be able to contribute more to charity. I want to be able to make a bigger difference in this world. And let's be honest, money is nothing but a vehicle to exchange to get what I need, want, and desire. There is no emotion around money. If you have emotion around money, look at that and think about it. There's nothing wrong with having an abundance of funds and doing great things with them, you know? So when you're building this board, be very careful to think of all 4 sides of your life and make sure that you're paying attention to all of them and you're taking care of them. You know, an incredible vacation not only hits the money side because they can be very expensive, it also hits the emotional side, because guess what? I need a break sometimes. I just need, like, I have been going for 18 months and it's been stressful, right? So that's just going to be a break for me. So with that being said, for those of you that are out there in Zoom land, if you are local and you ever want to stop into the office and pick up some supplies, I'll have everything available for the next week. We've got boards, we've got bling, we've got it all. And if you just want to come in and hang out with me, I'll do my board with you, right? For those of you who aren't in Las Vegas, just go to Walmart, get yourself a little board, get yourself some magazines. The magazines are just inspiration. Here's what let me show you. I hate cigars, but when I was laying out these magazines, I got super selfish, right? And I took this chick. Now I took her because that picture resonates with me for some reason. When I look at her, I'm like, wow, that's confidence, that's elegance. She's got the like Day of the Dead thing going on. My dad's Mexican. I don't know. I see something in that picture that resonates with me that I want to be more of. So she's going on my vision board this year. So these pictures don't have to mean anything to anybody else in the planet. Somebody could look at your vision board and have no idea what you're even thinking or talking about. It doesn't matter. It's yours. Build the board for you. If something resonates with you, tear it out and build it. Write words on it. We've got letter stickers and all of that for you guys. And speaking of the stickers, I should see no I's, C's, O's, or N's left when y'all depart my building. Because everybody should have an icon on there. Okay?
Yeah.
Should be everybody's goal, right? So take out the I's, the C's, the O's, and the N's. Go get it. This is your life and this is your dream. So whatever you do with it, you will manifest if you actually pay attention to it and you continue to go back to it and you continue to look at it and remind yourself that's the life you deserve, because there are no limitations. Are there, Cody?
There are none.
None. All right, so we can end the Zoom.
Yes.
And then what we're going to do, Cody, I don't know if you guys want to come back for the shares, but just text me and let me know if you do.
What time will that be?
What time is it right now?
10:30.
We're taking shares at 11.
Okay.
Oh, 11:45. Excuse me, 11:15.
If anybody wants to jump back onto Zoom at 11:15, we'll.
And we would love to hear your shares. If you have your stuff right now and you're building your board and you're on Zoom, I would love to see what you've done and what your goals and dreams are. Because guess what? The more you put it out to the world, the better your chances are of it happening. Let everybody know what your plans are. Don't be afraid of them and don't shy away from them, right? So share with me what your goals are, because honestly, be careful with people that you put around you. You put somebody like Cody, Denise Klein, Joe DeRaffaelli, me, Steve in the back of the room here. Tell us what you want. Be careful, because we might just make sure you get it. Okay, so if we can do a Zoom to come back and share, I'd love it.
Yeah, we'll turn it back on at 11:15. Hopefully between now and
11:15.
then, all the Zoomers will
Amazing.
be doing their thing.
Does anybody out there have any questions? Or do you guys feel like you're set up? Okay.
I have a
Bye,
question.
guys. See,
Oh.
yeah. Go for it.
Does anybody know of an online source for a dream board? Maybe we could do one online and post it?
Canva.
Canva, okay.
Yep. And I think that you can do it on the free subscription even, right? Yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's also, it's
I
so
also
great to
have a
have a
question.
digital version of a dream board, or just take a picture of it and make it your screensaver on your phone. Like, have it everywhere. All right, guys, we'll see you at 11:15.
Thanks, Pam.
Bye.